How to subtract similar fractions. So dealing with the addition of similar fraction as our previous topic, you just have to ensure that the denominators are the same so that you can proceed to add the numerators. Same thing happens in subtracting similar fractions. They have the same procedure with adding similar fractions. The only difference is that you will be dealing with subtraction, as you can see in our image. In our image, we have the first fraction 5/8 minus the second fraction 2/8. You have already noticed that the denominators are the same. The difference is the operation, wherein this moment we will subtract the numerator. And same thing as addition, we will copy the denominator. So therefore, to subtract fractions with like or the same denominator, just subtract the numerator, okay? Just subtract the numerators, then copy the common denominator. That is how easy to subtract similar fractions. Let us have some examples. Good day, students. Our topic for today is to subtract similar fractions or subtracting similar fractions. So for subtracting similar fractions, the same procedures with adding similar fractions. The only difference is that you will be dealing with subtraction. Say for example, we have 4/5. Okay, we have 4/5 minus 2/5. Okay, so to subtract fraction with the same denominator, just like this, just subtract the numerators. Okay, so our first fraction, we have numerator 4. For second fraction, we have numerator 2. Then copy the common denominator. Okay, so our common denominator is 5. Then reduce your answer to lowest term if possible. Okay, so 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Then we will copy the common denominator, which is 5. Our final answer is 2/5 or 2/5. We cannot reduce 2/5 because it is not divisible by any number except 1. So our final answer is 2/5 or 2/5. Okay, another example, we have 1/6 minus 5/6. Okay, so 1 minus 5 is equal to -4. Then we will copy the denominator, which is 6. Okay, so this is -4/6. Then we will reduce this to lowest term because 4 and 6 is divisible by 2. Okay, so 4 divided by 2 is 2. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. Then copy the negative sign. So our final answer is -2/3. Okay class, so let us now proceed how to subtract fraction with different denominators, or dealing with subtraction with dissimilar fractions. So for step 1, find the LCM or the least common multiple of each denominator. So kung ilan man yung fractions natin, lahat ng denominator ng bawat fractions kukunan natin ng LCM. by means of listing all the possible LCM or least common multiple. After that, pag nahanap na natin yung LCM, step 2, replace all denominators by the LCM. So, lahat ng denominator ng given fractions natin, papalitan natin ng LCM or yung least common multiple na na-compute na natin. And then also compute for the equivalent fractions of the numerators in order to get the new numerators, yung bagong numerators na niya. So mamaya sa example natin malalaman natin yan kung paano natin kukunin. It is simply the same as what we have already done with addition of fraction with different denominators or dissimilar fractions or adding dissimilar fractions. Then again, simplify if necessary or reduce to lowest term if possible. Okay class, so let us now proceed in subtracting dissimilar fractions. So in subtracting dissimilar fractions, the first step is to change dissimilar fractions into a similar fractions by finding the least common multiple of all denominators. Second step is to add them like similar fractions. And then finally, convert or reduce your answer to lowest term if possible. So for example number 1, we have 4/5, okay, minus 3/4. So the first step is to get the LCM or the least common multiple of 5 and 4. Those are our denominator. So for denominator 5, the multiples are 5. Okay, so we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and so on. For our denominator 4, we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, and so on and so forth. Okay, so as you can see here, 20 is our least common multiple. Okay, 20 is our least common multiple. Siya yung may pinakamaliit na value na makikita or common sa ating list. So therefore, 20 is our least common multiple. So our next step is to convert all denominators. So lahat ng denominator natin magiging 20. So for our first fraction, we have 20 and minus for our second fraction, 20 rin yung denominator niya. Next step naman is to reduce or to convert our numerators in its equivalent fraction. So we have 20 divided by 5 is 4 times 4 is 16. So our numerator, first numerator is 16. Next, we have 20 divided by 4 is 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. So we have 15 over 20. Okay, so now it is easy for us to subtract because they have the same denominator. So 16 minus 5 is 1. Then we will copy the common denominator, which is 20. So our final answer is 1 over 20. We cannot reduce this to lowest term. Okay, so 1 over 20 is our final answer. Okay, another example. we have 2/3 minus 1/2. Again, they are dissimilar fraction. All we need is to get the least common multiple of our denominators. So for denominator 3, we have 3, 6, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. Next, for denominator 2, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15, 8, 12, 14, 14, 16, and so on. Okay, as you can see here, our least common multiple is 6. Okay, 6 is our least common multiple. Okay, LCM is 6. Then the next step is to replace all denominator as 6, because 6 is our LCM. So the first fraction, we have 6 as our denominator minus our second fraction. We have also 6 as our denominator. Then the next step is to convert all numerators in its equivalent fraction. Okay? So we have 6, no? Okay? 6 divided by 3 is 2 times 2 is 4. Okay? Next, 6 divided by 2 is 3 times 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Ayan. So 4 minus 3 is 1. Then we will copy the common denominator, which is 6. So our final answer is 1 over 6. We cannot reduce this to lowest term. This is our final answer. Okay, another example. We have 2/3 minus 1/4. Again, this is dissimilar fractions, no? Fractions with different denominators. So by subtracting dissimilar fraction, the first step is to find the least common multiple of our denominators. So for denominator 3, the multiples are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, okay, 18, and so on. For our denominator 4, multiples are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and so on. Okay? So as you can see here, meron na agad tayong least common multiple, no? That is 12. Ayan. Common sila sa 12. Okay, so our next step is to replace all denominator as 12. Okay, so our first fraction, yung denominator niya magiging 12 minus the second fraction, yung denominator niya din magiging 12 din. Then we will going to convert all numerators into its equivalent fraction, no? Okay, so we have 12. Okay, we have 12 divided by 3 is 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay. So we have 8 over 12. Next, 12, okay? 12 divided by 4 is 3 times 1 is 3. So we have 3 over 12. Now it is easy for us to subtract because they have the same denominator. So 8, okay, 8 minus 3 is 5. Then we will copy the common denominator, which is 12. Can we reduce this to lowest term? The answer is no. Okay, so our final answer is 5 over 12. Ayan.